in the Middle East. And you touched on Gaza. In the latest from the Israel and Hamas conflict, the Palestinian Health Ministry says that 2 Palestinians, including a 15-year-old boy, were killed by Israeli forces early on Tuesday in separate incidents across the occupied West Bank. 15-year-old Amjad Nasser Abu Awad was fatally shot at dawn in Ramallah, according to local authorities. 24-year-old Sama Bassam Zaganeh was reportedly killed in the Dahariya in the south of the West Bank. The Israeli army said it's looking into both reports. Meanwhile, in Gaza, the humanitarian crisis is reportedly deepening. An Israeli airstrike late on Monday night hit a seaside cafe in northern Gaza, supposedly killing at least 30 people, most of them women, children and journalists. The cafe, a rare refuge offering internet and electricity, was located in the Al-Baqqa near Gaza City. Eyewitnesses have said that the area was packed with people seeking relief from both the summer heat and bombings. Let's have a listen to some of the eyewitnesses.
احنا كنا في قلب الدار قاعدين ما بنتفاجئ الا بصاروخ ضوى الدار كلها ياطا وشفط الدار من قلبها من جوا ياطا وطلعنا برا ما لقينا الا الردم والخبط والناس الميت والناس المستشهده ومرميه وين ما جاء ما توقعناش الشيء هذا كان شيء مفاجئ جدا جدا. الليل كنا قاعدين في امان الله الساعه 10 تقريبا ما سمعنا غير صوت ضربه جامده يعني بيوت امنه والناس امنين. فانتم شايفين اللي صار يعني زلزال في المنطقه والحمد لله رب العالمين على كل. من شدة الانفجار اللي كان حاصل يعني كان لهب نار في البداية، لهب نار حدث في كل المنطقة. بعد اللهب غبرة تساقط الإقزاز والشظايا على كل البيوت. يعني خلاص تعبنا صبرنا بما فيه الكفاية. يعني خلاص بدنا تقف الحرب شللها الدم بدنا إياه يقف. بكفي والله بكفي.
Well, plumes of smoke, crushed walls and twisted metal were all that remained after this reported strike, and it came just hours after another Israeli airstrike on a house in Al-Zawaidah, which killed 6 members of a single family, according to local officials. Since Israel resumed military operations on March the 18th, over 6,200 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza health authorities, bringing the total death toll to over 56,000 since the war began. Calls for accountability and a ceasefire are growing louder as international pressure continues over the rising toll on civilians, especially amongst children and aid workers. This, of course, amid a hostage situation where around 50 people, both dead and alive, captured during the 7th of October Hamas attacks, are still remaining in Hamas control. Nina Salama once again with us. We have a situation, Nina, of course, with the recent tensions in the Middle East, conversations and the spotlight was taken away from Gaza at a point where there was more international condemnation for the situation ongoing in Gaza, both the humanitarian situation and also the continuation of the holding of Israeli hostages. Do you think now that that 12-day war has come to an end, the international community will work with leaders in the region to try and find an end to the suffering on both sides?
So, of course, the main objective is to bring to peace and stability in the region, and especially when it comes to Gaza. But unfortunately, Hamas time and again rejected any offer that came from different partners and different countries that wanted to help in bringing peace and stability in this front. Unfortunately, Hamas terrorist organization is not only attacking Israel, but also doing it from densely populated areas, turning civilian infrastructures such as mosques, schools, and residential buildings into legitimate targets because they are firing and fighting Israeli forces from these infrastructures. And we know also that when it comes to the humanitarian aid that is distributed to the population in Gaza, Hamas is seizing this humanitarian aid, not allowing its own people to get the necessary essentials in order to survive there. Moreover, we know that from testimonies of released hostages that when this humanitarian aid is coming to the end of Hamas, they are not allowing the hostages to get the necessary food and nutrition to survive in the unbearable conditions that they are held in, not talking about healthcare and other things that these hostages need in order to survive in these horrific conditions that they are being held in. Unfortunately, the victims of Hamas terrorist organizations is also the Gazan population there, because they are using the Gazan population as human shields. When the IDF spokesperson in Arabic is instructing the Gazan population to leave a certain area in which there will be an intensification of combats, in order not to harm this population, Hamas is not allowing this population to cross or to move from one area to another, risking their lives, and of course, launching an information war in which they just projecting horrific visuals coming from Gaza. As a human being, as an Israeli being, I can tell you that my heart cries out when I see the different, people, not involved people in Gaza that are suffering there. But unfortunately, in order to bring peace and stability, Hamas has to accept some of the offers that are the different partners in the world are bringing to the table, release all 50 hostages that are still being held in tragic and horrific conditions, and of course not posing anymore any threats on Israel's national security, because they time and again declared that they would like to launch another attack that is similar to the October 7 attack that occurred in 2023.
Yes, and Nina, stay with us, because the Israeli ambassador